So here we have the journals I did here in 2024 and at the start of 2025 and the end of the year. The first one is just my daily journal. I would do this every other day. I definitely missed some days, and I'm not going to show a lot of this because it can be pretty private, but I have picked out some pages I'm just going to flip through. So let's get into it. Oh, I just lost one, go me. So for starters, whatever, I'll just work with it. My handwriting is rancid. Under here is my next journal. This is a bit more interesting. This is more like a goals book, a gratitude journal. But I'll show it in a sec. Let me find my pages I lost. So here's one. This was at the end of March. Talked to a friend of mine who's out traveling. Making sure there's no names here. This was a good little chapter. My handwriting is not great, as you can see. And the journal goes back. Trying to make sure no names are getting seen. There's July. There's August. I'll get back here. Like here's January. Here's what's cool. My handwriting is slowly improving a little bit. And here's January 2024. So that is the journal I did in 2024. You can see where the bookmark kind of ends. I have enough here to do January and maybe like a day or two of February. When I'm done with that, I'm gonna switch to this here. This one's unused, and this is gonna be my daily journal going forward. It's a very pretty journal. You don't need anything fancy like this to journal. I just happen to like them. So, and then over here, I got my drive log. And here was like a sample to-do list page. Let's see. I think I'll show the page I did on like career searching, what all I wanted to do there. This was pretty useful. I still need to answer something here. Get a little private. Here was my Stoic Circle of Inner Peace. I mentioned this in a private video, earlier video, so I thought I'd show it here. It's pretty great. And let's see, we got a decluttering guide. Please don't mind my rancid handwriting. I'm exploring like spiritualism in here. I'm exploring my own emotions in here. And I started doing this at the tail end of November. And I've used about that much book so far and have about that much book to work on. I'm doing some gratitude journaling in here. I'm doing just like my finance. I'll talk about my finances more in here. That's part of why I couldn't show some pages. It would have had like, you know, bank info and stuff. I can't actually show that, the personal journal. It was just about people's names not getting shown. But I wanted to show where I'm at with this and talk a bit about why I think journaling is a good habit to try. Because it'll really help you straighten out your thoughts, matter of fact. Journaling, in my experience, when my head is a wreck, putting pen to paper can be absolutely gifting. Wow, my hair is a wreck today. It is hair washing day after all. So the point is, I gotta say, like, this can really help you sort your thoughts, help you find your own emotions. I read through the 2024 journal at the end of the year after the New Year's party wrapped up, and that hurt a lot. Like, that hurt so much. Holy cow. Like, there was so much where I could see where I was ignoring my own feelings. Yeah, that's good job, my light. I could see where I was ignoring my own feelings, or I was like, just not like I knew something and just wasn't processing or accepting it on the fly. I could see where I kind of knew things were going to come up in advance. I was able to really reflect pretty deeply on that, but it was honestly challenging to to read, because just a lot happened this year, and simultaneously I feel like not enough happened this year, but a lot did. And man, I really just can't find a good angle to sit at and not get slaughtered by the light here in the room. So I guess with that, we'll just save the rest of the conversation for the walk, and this will just be my segment on journaling, showing the journals themselves, and then we'll actually talk about them on the walk. All right. Welcome back to Skyline Stroll. When it comes to journaling, there are quite a few different types of journals you can keep. You can keep a emotional journal, just tracking how you feel throughout different events in your life. You can keep a gratitude journal where you force yourself to ask, what do I actually appreciate? What do I enjoy? What do I get satisfaction out of? You can keep just a daily log, just tracking what happened in a day. That one's pretty mundane, but pretty good to do. You can keep financial journals, helping you track meal plans, bills, expenses, luxuries you want to incorporate into your life. Journaling can be really powerful, and it's a pretty private way to keep your thoughts logged, but to yourself. Like, honestly, your phone, it's so pilfered by different things. I mean, every other video is offering a VPN, right? So like, a journal is honestly more private than a notepad on your phone, but use whatever works for you. If you want to type out your journal on your phone, if you want to download a journaling app, that's certainly better than nothing. Please do it. It'll be awesome. So I'm going to talk a bit about the perks of journaling and what it's done for me, and what I think it could do for me in the future if I tweak it and continue to work on it. And we're also gonna talk more about the 3 types of journals I keep right now. And so let's start off with the daily log journal. This is one I've been doing since the end of January in 2024. So I basically did it for a full year. I have a couple entries in January now. Many of the entries are mundane, like nothing really special happened. They cover a couple of days and just how I felt and what I did. But the point is, this got me in the habit of journaling to begin with. And I did notice that I could get a hint at emotions I couldn't quite figure out yet just by reading my own journal back to myself. It helped me sort out my thoughts. It's helped me with my penmanship, just be better, have better handwriting, be more literate. This is a skill that I think is kind of being lost, allegedly, according to the internet. So, like, just the practice of writing your own thoughts every day could add a little bit of consistency and reliability to each day in your life. And so outside of this, once you do your daily log journal, it's kind of pointless if you never go back and look at it. So what you'll want to do next is pick a time, set a time. Maybe you do it like once every other week, once a month. Me, I did it just at the end of the year. While I was at my buddy's for New Year's, I opened up my 2024 journal and read it. And yeah, there was some good information in there, some good retrospection in there, some emotions that were pulled to the surface to help me feel them, which was good. It's like, oh, maybe I thought I was over that, or maybe I was over that. And some of the journal entries helped me kind of really dissolve that and figure out, actually, oh yeah, I'm okay with this now. Or, oh, maybe I still feel a way about this. And this was a huge perk to it. So I recommend trying a daily log journal. And I also have to recommend some gratitude journaling. I don't care if you get a big journal. You can even just buy a memo pad and make yourself write down like 3 things you like about yourself, or 3 things you like about your environment or your week or your routine. And just make yourself do that regularly, because it'll reinforce positivity. It'll help rewire your mind just to look for the brighter things in a day, which can be key to turning your life around and making a difference in other people's lives and your own. If you're more positive thinking, you're going to be more inspirational, more desirable to be around. And so a gratitude journal can really help you build up some confidence, further sort your own thoughts, and make you just feel a little better about life, which I strongly recommend. Now, another type of journal you can do is if you're an indecisive person, you can kind of keep a log of like things you want to do or need to do upcoming, and pros and cons of doing them. And you can literally like make columns and sort them out. You can make a columns of like wants, needs, and don't wants, and put things into each column if you need. And if you're an indecisive person, this type of journaling will really help you make some decisions, come to some conclusions, and figure out what you actually want to do. So I strongly recommend trying the like decision-making journaling. This is also a good spot for like a finance journal. You can keep track of your wages, your spending here, your like savings plans. I like having my account numbers and passwords written down in one spot, just so I can always come back to and be like, oh, what was that password? It's like, no, I have a spot in one of my books where I can find all of that, and I recommend that. And some other types of journaling that in my experience have been helpful are asking just general questions about yourself. Like just make a couple pages where you write a couple questions about yourself, spend a day pondering on those questions, and at the end of the day, answer them out. And I like to do it in a different color of ink. I know you don't need to do that, but I like to do that. Kind of makes me feel like I'm doing it in 2 parts. And this can further help you with the being more decisive, being more confident, figuring yourself out better, sorting your thoughts, which is really key for journaling. It's what I wanted out of it, was I just wanted to be able to sort my mind better. I feel like a few years ago, my mind was a massive mess, real unruly, unregulated place of thought, where it's just like, oh yeah, this intrusive thought, I'm just gonna rabbit hole it, I'm gonna think about it regularly, I'm gonna let it come back. It's like I wouldn't guide myself, I wouldn't navigate my days and plan them out. Writing that out helped a lot. Another type of journal I guess I keep is a literal to-do list. Like, it's just, I write out what I need to do in a week, be it the little bits of cleaning I need to do to maintain my house, the bills I need to pay, the friend I should probably call because we haven't talked in a while, and then I put little checks next to it when I do them. And if I don't do them in a timely fashion, I put a little X next to it. I didn't do it. I don't get to... it keeps me accountable, it keeps me honest, it keeps me a little bit on track, and even when I'm depressed, I still can do this, and it'll help me just keep my environment a little cleaner, stay a little bit more on top of things, not get really behind just because I'm so depressed. Instead, I get kind of behind, and then when I'm coming out of my depression, I'm like, man, it's a good thing I kept that to-do list. That really kept me a little bit on track, even while I was kind of just out of it. So making that a consistent habit can be so good. A lot of people talk about screw all the little things. You can do a big 3 journal where you make 3 big goals and you give yourself 3 months to do them. Okay, do some of that. In fact, I like a smaller version of that where each week I say, what do I need to get done this week? And I pick 3 things that I want to get done this week, and I write them at the top of the to-do list, and then the rest of the to-do list is the other things I should just be doing every couple of days. So by doing these things that need done every couple of days, it keeps me consistent, it keeps me honest with myself more, I will just be like, oh, I didn't do that. I got to put an X through it, not a check. And then at the end of the week, when I'm turning the page, I'll be like, okay, we got 3 X's and the rest were checked off. That wasn't bad. Or it's like, oh, I have like 8 things I didn't do here. Yeah, I really let the ball go this week. I should look at next week's to-do list better and make sure to actually follow through and get on top of this so I can do more. I like to cut myself some slack because this habit can get really meticulous really quick, and next thing you know, you're running around like an overproductive lunatic. Don't let it turn into that for you, because if you're doing that, it won't be productive. I'm going to stop talking about the checklist now because this is more about journaling for self-exploration. But honestly, the checklist is one of my favorite types of journals I keep, so had to share. Back to, let's say, gratitude journaling, decision-making journaling, and emotional processing. Just right after having a huge dispute with a loved one, or a hard day at work, or just a like long sequence of chaotic events all day, like your car had issues and then you couldn't get a bill paid on time, whatever it is, you should sit down, and while you're still in the thick of those emotions, that is a perfect time to get your pen out. It'll help you actually vent in the moment in a constructive way, and you'll be able to actually get like a really good account of the raw emotion right there, because like you were feeling it right then and there. And then later, when your head's clear and you're calm again, that is a perfect time to go back and read and say, well, why did I have such a horrible day that day? What was going on that was so bad? And then you review and you find out, and you can really figure out what you actually don't like by doing this. And journaling has been one of the better habits I found. It can kind of be a good prelude to meditation, like journaling and then trying to meditate, because journaling is kind of calming. And then so it would like lead well into like, okay, I'll meditate now, and kind of marinate on what I just journaled about a little bit and think about that. And this can be a great way to further let the pen help you sort your own thoughts. That is the goal in getting a journal done, is just becoming a little more orderly, a little more in control of yourself, and a little bit more self-understanding, I feel. And having a couple journals, looking at all the different options. There's so many videos here on YouTube that are going to show you all kinds of awesome sites where you can get like journaling prompts, or just a whole journaling app, or you can just buy a notebook and then pick the types of journals you actually want to do. And once you have all that figured out, you can hold yourself accountable. Keep a journal for 6 months, a year. Keep one type at a time even, and see how you feel about it. See what just a daily journal does for your life. Is it a waste of money? Do you feel like you're got a pen and paper laying around and you write nothing relevant in it every now and again? Then it's like, okay, maybe journaling's just not for you. That's fine too. But I think if you haven't tried it, I strongly recommend go and get yourself a cheap old notebook and right away, write whatever comes to mind first. Put your thoughts to paper, put your feelings to paper where you can, and like review those journals, and do it. Give it some time. Give it like 3 months, 6 months. See if you actually see any kind of difference in your life because of the type of journals you've tried. And if you do, then maybe it becomes a regular part of your life that you're just doing all the time. And if not, that's fine too. There are plenty of other ways to organize your mind, organize your feelings, and build a better you for tomorrow. So what I suggest is simple. Get a notebook, get an app, start putting the thoughts to paper, make yourself do it like once a day or once every other day. And after a couple months, ask yourself what it has added to your life and answer honestly. If you find that you have a journaling habit that I didn't mention here that is working wonders for you, please leave it in the comments. I'm always looking for new techniques to try and new journaling options I can try to help better myself too. So by all means, please share what works for you, and hopefully I've shared something useful to you today. If so, thank you much for the view, and you have a lovely night, and I'll see you in the next one.